And by whom? That's what I would like to know. Whom gave permission that you were going to be able to use private property to satisfy the aquivore? Like I said, I'm all for business, but when you open up a business, I mean, I know a lot of people that own bars, and I've heard comments already. And when you open up a bar, there's so many bar stools, so many seats, and you got to have adequate parking. Who gave permission for you to use city property? Was it in writing? Was it verbal? That's what I would like to know. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Emerson.
like Councilman Hinojosa, excuse me, we have 3 parks in the 4th District, quite a few baseball fields. All of them are sitting in the heart of residential areas. If the parks close, and they do by ordinance at dusk, I see no earthly reason for people to be parking in these parking lots, especially since houses are usually within 100 to 200 feet, residential homes. The other point is, I don't know if I heard Councilman Higgs right or not, are you considering we pay for security for bars? I will never be able to vote for that unless I'm having an extremely, phased out day. You weren't suggesting that. I'm putting that out there.
Mr. President.
I can't do that.
Councilman Higgs.
Just for clarity, no, my suggestion was that the business owner comes up with a solution as to addressing the needs of the community versus, we're not responsible for paying for someone to park on a municipal lot. What they should be doing is paying. Maybe we need to have someone monitor the lot and get the revenue.
That's how I understand it, Councilman Higgs. Any other discussion? Carmen, roll call vote on the amended version, midnight to 5 a.m., 1328.
Markovich.
Yes.
Spitali.
Yes.
Benez.
Yes.
Kalwinski. Yulaki.
Yes.
Higgs.
No.
Emerson.
Yes.
Hinojosa.
Yes.
Opinker.
Yes. Amended version passes 8-1. Now on 1328 as written. Mr. Chairman, Councilman Markovich.
In the caucus, I brought up several incidences of other businesses, Walgreens and so forth and all of that. And like one attorney told me, what you say out here can come back because, we're going to get sued after this is dead and gone, And I hate to be passing some kind of ordinance where we're going to get sued and we're going to lose because, I brought it up when they got the occupancy permit from the city and Mr. Chico Hinojosa was taking my thunder already and saying that, well, who gave him this? Who gave him that or whatever? Hey, the city had to give him the occupancy permit for 200, 300, 400, 500 people. And it's like the examples I gave about Walgreens. One little house shut down Walgreens from being at 119th and Calumet Avenue because one little old lady didn't want to sell her house. They wanted to go across the street. One person, Soko Club, did not want to sell. So where did they end up going? They went to Whiting. And the city would not give Walgreens the permit to build in Hammond because they didn't have enough parking. Now, if we're talking these kind of numbers, hundreds of people to park, who in the hell gave them the okay to come there in the first place? You don't let somebody spend $2 million plus and then say, well, you can't come here no more. I'm sorry. This ought to be tabled. We brought up about the marina. People are there after hours. That's city property. We're going to start towing cars after midnight in the marina now? Festival of the Lakes. You got cars parking there after midnight. You going to start towing those cars? It's just common sense. And if we're not targeting any specific business like they say they're not, give them a pass, give them a ticket, a green card. You come in here, go put this on your car. You're good till when we close. Return it. Mr. O'Connor said something, and I don't know whether he's for or against it. I know he's got business down there. So that's my only concern. I mean, there's no sense making a motion to make that city lot till 2 o'clock, because that's probably not going to cover it, because if they close at 2 o'clock, they still got, you know, people hanging around. I would hope that we table this and have some real discussions and meet with these people and everything, because what we're doing, you know, it could cause us some money in the long run, and I just don't want to see it. I don't want the taxpayers to defend something. We get sued enough as it is. We win some, we lose some, but I don't know how in the hell they got the okay to come downtown. Why weren't they stopped from the get-go and said, hey, you don't have enough parking, you can't come here? But it didn't happen, so I'm sure that would come up in the future.
Mr. President.
So I would make a motion that we table this so we can have some more meetings and discussions to come to some kind of compromise.
There's a motion by Councilman Markovich to table this. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Higgs. Carmen, roll call vote on tabling 1328.
Markovich?
Yes.
Spitali?
No.
Vines?
No.
Kalwinski? Yulaki?
No.
Higgs?
Yes.
Emerson?
No.
Hinojosa?
No?
Opinker?
No. Tabling fails, 7-2.
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
I just feel as though that there needs to be some more discussion as it relates to this particular issue. And just like Councilman Markovich said, you know, there was discussion whether we're going to get sued. You can best believe that those business owners are going to be screaming in a minute. Just get ready, because it's coming. That's all I can say.
Mr. President,
Councilman Hinojosa.
you know what, actually, we're not making a adequate decision on this vote here today until we find out. I mean, I think we have two people up there that we can call up to the mic and ask them who gave permission for you to use the city lot. Because here, we're gonna vote on something that we're gonna, I mean, this is for the whole entire city. But if this is affecting Aquavor, and whether they have a lawsuit or not, I don't know. But I certainly don't want a lawsuit. So I'm gonna make a motion that we suspend the rules to have the questions answered by the two individuals, the attorney of Aquavor, and find out who gave permission to use the parking lot. I so move.
There's a motion by Councilman Hinojosa to suspend the rules. A second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Higgs. All those in favor?
Well, Mr. Chairman,
Aye.
discussion.
There is no discussion. This is to suspend the rules.
For what reason?
We're suspending the rules to get the attorney from Aquavor to make their statement. Who gave them the okay?
Excuse me.
Hold on a minute.
We have to vote on it.
Okay, to suspend,
Suspend the rules.
motion to suspend the rules. Carmen, a roll call vote on suspending the rules to let attorney from Aquavor speak.
Markovich?
Yes.
Spitali?
Yes.
Vines?
Yes.
Kalwinski? Yes. Yulaki?
Yes.
Higgs?
Yes.
Emerson?
Yes.
Hinojosa?
Yes?
Opinker?
Yes. Rules are suspended, 9-0.
Yes, and I believe the question is who gave authority for Aquavor to use the municipal lot? I do not know the exact person, but I do know whenever Aquavor was preparing to open and they had excise come in and do a thorough inspection and give us the authority to open based on occupancy and the available parking. In addition, we did have inspections and approvals by the city. I know Kurt Cook gave us some approvals, and he may have been the one as far as the parking, but I don't know exactly for the parking issue who to tell you, but I can research that and find out.
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs?
initially, I guess, when initially Aquavor came to Hammond, I mean, something had to be worked out so you guys would have adequate parking, because I can't just see a business coming to Hammond and spend that kind of money and not have a space to park vehicles. It just doesn't make
Correct.
sense.
We,
to
we
me.
only, the club was only viable and able to open because of the municipal parking that we had access to, and we were provided that authority.
What was the total investment in redeveloping that?
2 million? I think it was a little more than that. And the owner of Aquavor actually has invested quite a bit downtown. He owns a building across the street and would like to do more to improve downtown. However, he's hesitant at this point because of what's going on.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Markovich.
do you know what attorney represented Aquavor when they came to the city to do this? I'm sure you didn't represent them, right? Do you know who did? What
As-
law firm represented Aquavor when they came to the city to do this development?
Well, I've represented them for since their inception, yes.
So it was you that represented Aquavor when they were coming there, when they first approached the city and they wanted to open up then?
I believe Mr. Yaney may have represented them. Oh, you represented Ray, the Rabcheck, the owner? Okay.
I was involved in the zoning for a different project across the street.
But for some of his downtown buildings,
A restaurant.
right.
So it had to be somebody else that represented Aquavor.
It would have been me. What are you asking for?
Well, I'm just wondering.
Actually, the owner of Aquavor met with the city, met with the mayor a lot. Kevin Smith obviously was in my firm, and
Were you involved with all those discussions, or might have been Rubino or somebody else or whatever then, or?
possibly Mr. Smith was involved in the discussions, but I believe it was mainly the discussions between the owner and
So
the city.
Kevin Smith with the law firm of Smith, Sursick, or whatever?
No,
or-
he was with Rubino Rumen at that time. I
Okay,
don't know
so
that he
Kevin
was
Smith
involved.
may have been the attorney that was representing you guys with the city then?
It probably would have been him or me. We were the only ones involved with Mr. Rabchak
Mr.
or
President,
Mr.
This is
Rubino.
turning into a guessing game, what attorney
Sure.
represented
Well,
what.
Mr. Chairman, I agree with you. That's why maybe we should postpone it and let's get this information.
Mr. President, I have one other question.
Councilman Higgs.
What would be the impact if this ordinance was to go forward? How would it affect your business? And that's something the press and everybody should know.
The business is closed now because the signs have been up. And since we tried to open the first weekend after the signs were up, and there was no parking, so there was nobody
Wow.
could come.
Any other questions?
Mr. President,
Councilman Hinojosa?
we're still under new and unfinished business.
Yes, sir.
After we go back into the regular order of business, I'm going to put my vote as a no, only because we don't have enough information. I agree with Councilman Markovich. We need to find out who gave permission to use the parking lot to make this Aquavor successful. And now it's shut down. Do we have a lawsuit or not? I mean, it's already been closed for 2 months already. Is it a lawsuit? I don't know. I mean, this ordinance is for the whole city of Hammond. But if we, the city, gave permission to Aquavor to use the lot, and then now us, the councilmen, are going to say, no, you can't use it, is this a lawsuit or not? So I'd like to make a motion that we go back into the regular order of business.
Motion by Councilman Hinojosa. Do I have a second to go back to regular order of business?
Mr. President,
Second.
Second by Councilman Markovich. Back to regular order of business.
Mr. President,
Councilman Hinojosa.
until we get in more information on this, I think we should table this until the next meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we refer this back to the council as a whole.
Okay, it's motion by Councilman Markovich to refer this back as council as a whole. Second by Councilman Hinojosa. Carmen, roll call vote.
oh, it's discussion before you go to roll call, Mr. President.
Everything's been discussed.
You still have to open it up for discussion.
Any discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
we just need more clarification as how this all transpired. Certainly, I wasn't at the meeting. I totally agree that some of the issues that affect the residents and the issues that affect municipality parking lots is a problem within our city, and it needs to be addressed. But we need to fine tune this and get some answers to some of the questions, and find out exactly, do we want to attract businesses downtown, or do we want to scare people from coming downtown? That's what we have to look at. And the reality of it is, I don't own a business, but I know people that do. And our former corporate counsel, the city corporate counsel, he has a business down there, as well as Attorney Yaney, who has a business down there. And I know, whether it's night or day, he wants people to ride by and see the sign. Because the more visibility, the more business. And that's just plain and simple. So it's something to, I don't think it would hurt to find out more information a couple of weeks. And then maybe something could be fine-tuned in it. Just a suggestion.
Any other discussion? Carmen, roll call vote on putting 1028 back in council as a whole.
Markovich.
Yes.
Spitali.
No.
Vines.
No.
Kalwinski.
No.
Ulaki.
No.
Higgs.
Yes.
Emerson.
No.
Hinojosa.
Yes.
Opinker.
No. Motion fails 5-3. Now 1328 as written.
As amended, 3. That's only 8.
It's been amended. We voted on the amended version. 1328.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Markovich?
point of clarification, you said it got defeated 5-3. There's 9 of us.
Yeah, not to put it in council as a whole.
Right. We should have 9 votes, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, 6-3, Carmen. It's my mistake. Carmen, roll call vote on 1328.
Markovich.
No.
Spitali.
Yes.
Vines.
Yes.
Kalwinski.
Yes.
Ulaki.
Yes.
Higgs.
No.
Emerson.
Yes.
Hinojosa.
No.
Opinker.
Yes. 1328 passes 6-3. Moving on to number 9, introduction of ordinances.
$13.30, ordinance authorizing the City of Hammond, Indiana, to issue its Economic Development Revenue Bonds, Series 2013, Munster Seal Project, and approving other actions in respect thereto.
Chairman,
Councilman Kowinski.
I move that 13-30 move through first and second reading and be referred to council as a whole with a public hearing scheduled for August 26, 2013.
Second. It's a motion by Councilman Kowinski, second by Councilman Spitali for first and second reading. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? First and second passes.
1331, an ordinance vacating 5 remaining alley sections bisecting a property situated on the corner of Columbia Avenue and 172nd Street, which property was previously known as the E.B. Hayward Branch of the Hammond Public Library.
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
I move 1331 with first and second reading by title and refer to council as a whole. I so move.
Second. Motion by Councilman Higgs, second by Councilman Spitali. Is there any discussion? First and second passes. Are all those in favor of 1321 for first and second reading?
Aye.
Opposed? First and second passes for 1331.
$1332, an ordinance amending Ordinance 8574, also known as Section 72.016 of the Hammond Municipal Code as it pertains to administrative towing fees.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vines.
I move for first and second reading of 1332 and refer to council as a whole.
Second. Motion by Councilwoman Vines, second by Councilman Spitali. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? First and second passes on 1332. Put it in council as a whole. Moving on to number 10, resolutions. There are none. Number 11, new and unfinished business.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Markovich.
I would like to offer a prayer that the Bulldogs win tonight. I so move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Markovich, second by Councilman Higgs. A motion that the Bulldogs win tonight. All those in favor?
A prayer. And did you see that one big guy? He's a good pitcher, you know. I think he plays third base, too.
Any other new and unfinished business?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Markovich.
August 12th, 1914. That's when my mother was born. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here and cause all this chaos all the time.
Yay.
She would have been 99 years old today. I'd just like to, well, you won't let me offer a prayer, but I wish you were here, Mom, to see me in action. She died before I got to this place, and sometimes, I don't know, she's yelling and screaming at me. She says, damn it, I didn't tell you to do that, but, you know, what are you going to do? Thank you.
Any other new and unfinished business?
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
certainly Alvin is left, but this past week, Alvin's mother was funeralized, Miss Hazel Cheeks, as well as we have two more funerals this week in my community, in my district. Mr. Franklin Banks, condolences to that family, and also to the Edmond family, who Miss Edmond was very, very instrumental in directing me as a kid, and she has about 103 great-grandchildren. So that both of them will be funeralized on Saturday, so, and my birthday is on Sunday, so full weekend.
Any other new and unfinished business?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vines.
I'd like to announce a couple of Crime Watch meetings. The Hessville Crime Watch will meet on Thursday, August 15th at the Gene Shepherd Center, 7 p.m. Also, the East Hammond Pullman Crime Watch will meet on Tuesday, August 20th. They'll be celebrating their 6th anniversary. I encourage everyone to come out and find out what's happening in your neighborhood.
Any other new and unfinished business?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vines.
I'd also like to thank everyone who came out for and participated in National Night Out at the Wolf Lake Splash Pad. It was our biggest year yet, and I thank you to everyone who volunteered, everyone who donated, and everyone who participated. Thank you.
Any other new and unfinished business?
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
on the 24th of Saturday at the Martin Luther King Park, I'll be hosting the 12th annual Back to School giveaway. It'll be from 12 to 2, so any students that are interested in getting school supplies free, just come on out to the park.
Any other new and unfinished business?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vines.
at our last meeting, we did not act on our appointment to the Lake County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Being that we did not have a meeting before the deadline, I would like now to move to appoint Raimundo Garcia as the
Point of order.
appointment to the Lake County Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Point of order.
Make the motion.
Oh, I'm so moved.
It's motion by Councilwoman Vines.
Point of order.
We need a motion to suspend the rules.
Correct.
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Vines to suspend the rules. Second by Councilman Spitali. Is there any discussion?
Can you have
Do
discussion?
you need me to reiterate?
I don't know why you need to suspend the rules. We're on new and unfinished business.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't need to suspend the rules. Doesn't have to be on the
It doesn't
agenda.
have to be new and unfinished business.
Okay, we need a motion to go back to the rules.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Vines, second by Councilman Spitali. Okay, we have a motion for an appointment. We had a second by Councilman Spitali to appoint Ramon Garcia. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Markovich.
you know, we don't know who the hell Raimondo Garcia is or whatever, and we had a problem with the last one because they weren't qualified. And now just to bring this up all of a sudden, I would think they ought to put it in a resolution form and put it in the packet so we can have it. I think we should go ahead and take and let it be known that, you know, we are looking for an appointment. And from what I understand is, the tourism board went ahead and appointed somebody on their own without even consulting us because the deadline went by. So I would think that, you know, as a council as a whole, not just have somebody bring up somebody that they want, and just table it and put it in there, not table it, but put it in the packet like we normally do for a resolution if they want to appoint somebody, and let's just do it that way, not just some spur out of moment thing here or whatever's going on. And, you know, it's quite possible that this guy, if it's the same one I'm thinking of, already announced that he's running for 2nd District Councilman. So, you know, what are we doing here? You know, and there was a thing saying that, well, he was going to run, and I have an apartment in downtown Hammond, and I'm going to move there, and if it's the same one, and that I don't know. And that's all I'm saying is, you know, let's put it in the packet, or if you want to nominate somebody, let's do it. Because I don't think it's fair to the rest of us. I mean, somebody else, and maybe there's somebody from the 1st District or whatever that wants to be appointed to this tourism board. That's all I'm asking.
Mr. President. Mr. President?
Councilwoman Vines.
It's extremely unfair to Raimondo Garcia to speculate as to where he lives, where he's going to live, what he's going to do. Nobody has declared a candidacy for anything just yet. The election does not come up for 2 years. Raimondo Garcia, as everyone knows, is the busboy at El Taco Real, according to his commercials on WJOB. He is very visible in our community. He has been at El Taco Real for years and years. His family has owned the business. Everyone is well aware of who Raimondo Garcia is and his activities in the city of Hammond. I think he would be an excellent appointment to the Convention and Visitors Bureau, not only from his restaurateur background, but also his activities in the city of Hammond that, I might add, extend beyond the city of Hammond. I renew my motion.
Councilwoman Vines made the motion to appoint Raimondo Garcia to the South Shore Convention Board Visitors Bureau. Do I have the second?
Second.
Councilman Spitali. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Markovich.
sometimes when Councilwoman Vines speaks, she forgets to put all the information in that's needed. If you can recall, when they had the special election to put Councilman Ulaki in, there was all kinds of names being thrown out there. And Mr. Garcia was one of them. And our mayor got on the radio and said, hey, we had somebody from, I said, what's the guy's name? White, Secretary of State, that went to jail saying that he was living in one area and voted someplace else and he's in a heap of trouble. I mean, Mr. Garcia was saying he's already running for 2nd District Councilman, that he had an apartment above some building on Holman Avenue. And I'm sure he's probably the one that talked to you that wanted to extend it to 12 o'clock because he wants to open a restaurant. If people go to the Toll Theater, you know, that they want to go to his restaurant and have something to eat and drink after. So that's why that was moved to 12 o'clock. But, irregardless, everybody knows Mr. Garcia lives across the street from Mayor McDermott in Knickerbocker. And he was going to run for the 2nd District thing here. And Mayor McDermott got on the radio and says, hey, I'm not getting involved in it, and was flatly told him, hey, you live over here, what you're going to do 2 years from now, you want to move and put up an apartment above your restaurant. If you do open a home, that's your business. But, you know, let's not try to jam something down our throats and the people's throat all in one night and blindside us and come up with a name. We're all councilmen. Let's take the best candidate or whatever. I'm sure that there's other people that want to get involved in everything. I have nothing against Mr. Garcia or anything, but this just seems too coincidental. I'm running for 2nd District councilman, and then, you know, doing this and doing that, and now I want to be on a tourism board. Let's put it out there. Let's get the best possible candidate that's out there that's involved in tourism as a business. Mr. Garcia, everybody knows that his father is the owner of that business. You know, Raimondo may be running it, but his father owns it. And that's all I'm asking. And if you got the votes to do it, God bless you. But I don't like being blindsided like this and what's happening.
Any other discussion? Carmen, roll call vote.
Mr. Chairman, never mind, the hell with it.
Carmen, roll call vote.
Markovich.
No.
Spitali.
Yes.
Vines.
Yes.
Kalwinski. Ulaki.
Yes.
Higgs. Emerson.
Yes.
Hinojosa. Opinker.
Yes. Appointment passes 6-1, 2 absent. Any other new and unfinished business? New and unfinished business is now closed. Public expression. First speaker, Carla Pyle. William O'Connor.
I couldn't help but notice in the later discussion the usual search for a scapegoat. Was it Kurt Cook? Was it the mayor? Was it the janitor who gave Aquavor permission to open? Well, who gave Aquavor the authorization to continue? You just did. You just did. You authorized their operations until midnight. Do you think their urination and disrobing and drunkenness until midnight will bring the pastor any comfort? I mean, this was all isolated to one individual. You know, as you know, these ordinances are reviewed on the record, and there is not a single legitimate reference to any offense in the city of Hammond other than Aquavor. And that is one of a myriad of huge problems that are facing you. So these things can be upheld, and these things can go in the other directions. And you've seen them settle for $1 million before they got to a courtroom. So I think you should consider all those factors. And one last thing. I've dealt with a lot of people as corporation counsel, an assistant city attorney, and an attorney in Hammond. I never have and never will assume that a person is a criminal because they do not reside in the city. That attitude is for the Stone Age. It must be put there and kept there forever, or we will make no progress.
Our last speaker of the evening will be Janie Pabon. Janie? She must have left. All right, that ends our public expression. A motion to adjourn.
So move.
Motion by Councilwoman Vines, second by Councilman Spitali. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?